Today's episode of the Tavern Chat podcast is brought to you in part by Flipboard. Flipboard is one of those apps that you don't realize you're using it as much as you are until you don't have it. My prior phone, which was a Google Pixel, had it pre-installed. I used it constantly. It was a great place to catch current events, stories of interest, just fun stuff, all in one place. And I changed to an iPhone, and it took me a while to figure out that I was missing something, and what I was missing was Flipboard. So, if you don't have it installed on your phone or tablet, go to flipboard.com and correct that now. Hello, and welcome to the Tavern Chat podcast. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog. So last night, we held an annual Taverners meeting on the Discord server. We had opened up a text channel for a week to get people's comments as to what we could do better, what we're doing well, just their feedback on all things Tavern. And for the most part, I think we're doing pretty well. We did have two commenters, long-time blog readers, that either want no podcast or less podcast. And I know some of the argument has historically been content that's on the podcast doesn't generally get repeated on the blog, and therefore they're missing out on content. They want more blog posts, less podcast episodes. Well, you know what? I need to find a balance, and I found my balance, and that's a podcast episode a day, and generally 1 to 2, sometimes 3 posts on the blog a day. That's my balance. If I'm not balanced, I'm not producing, and if I'm not producing, then we're just going nowhere. So the podcast is here to stay. I enjoy it. Based on my listener numbers, number of downloads we've been getting on a daily basis, and overall, I think that my listeners enjoy it. My community enjoys it. So the podcast is staying. We do have things that we want to add in coming up in 2019, including moving the podcast episodes, in addition to being podcast episodes, moving them to YouTube to expand the audience a bit. I think that'll be fun. So I'm working on that, working on making the blog side more accessible to additional posters, not just commenters, but having more people involved in it. So there's just things in the plan. Things planned. Some shit like that. I don't fucking know. Sorry. Yes. Yesterday was me really running on empty for my my sleep tank, and I was exhausted. Squeezed in a hell of a lot yesterday. In any case, I was poking around and trying to figure out what things were actually newsworthy that's going on. And ENWorld apparently put out a survey or voting for the 10 most anticipated tabletop RPGs of 2019. That's interesting. Now, coming in at number 10 was Judge Dredd and the Worlds of 2000 AD. What I find very interesting is that Judge Dredd, number 10, is what you see on the main ENWorld page. You don't see the number 1 pick. You don't see the number 1 vote receiver. You see the game that's being published by ENWorld. Yeah, I know. Coinky dinky, right? But in any case, let's see. Things from the Flood. Yeah, okay. Never heard of it. Changeling the Lost 2nd Edition. Personally, I couldn't give a fuck. I'm not into the World of Darkness, but whatever. Number 7, John Carter of Mars. I'm looking forward to it. I can't really say I like the system. I believe it's the same system as the Conan. Yeah, it is. It's Modiphius's 2D20 system, but it looks like it's going to be um, pure, or at least respectful to the original source material, and it looks damn good. Dune RPG. I know this has been asked for by people for ages. True confession, I never fucking read Dune. I know, and you know, at my age now, I really have no desire. I haven't even seen the movie yet. Eclipse Phase Second Edition. Eclipse Phase wasn't a bad game at all. I don't know if there is a need for a second edition. The Expanse. I found that on my on-demand viewing. I forget whether it's on Prime or Netflix. But damn, fun series. Fun fucking series. I know it's based on a series of fiction novels, and that's where Green Ronin's going to be aiming this at. And I think the Green Ronin game engine might be a good fit for this, too. And it's one of the more recent systems that I can partially grok, so maybe I'll actually get a chance to play this. Lex Arcana. Like Roman fantasy. Yeah. Yeah, I think I saw something about it on Kickstarter, and it didn't mean much to me. Pathfinder Second Edition comes in at number 2. Yeah. It's slated for releasing at Gen Con 2019, which means that the playtest that you have in your hands, if you have it in your hands, the one that you can buy in the stores or order from, nah, it's not a playtest. It's a marketing gimmick. That's all it fucking is. It's a marketing gimmick because it's too late. They're publishing this thing in what, 7, 8 months? Your input's going to have little, if any, impact on what's finally coming out. It is a cash grab to put out the playtest rules, and it is a huge marketing gimmick. That is all. It is. You're not going to influence anything with the playtest rules you can go out and pick up right now. Coming in at number 1, Savage World Adventure Edition. Savage World has been updated, I don't know how many times now. It's the 3rd update, maybe the 4th. I don't know. Savage World gets a lot of huge... what am I thinking of? Huge mention, huge following. I am not a huge Savage World fan. I don't dislike it. I just never understood the powers. So I can never understand spell casting. Yeah. Me bad. So that is the big thing there. Now, if you go to DriveThruRPG, I'm going to be putting this up on the blog side later today, and you do a search for Starter Traveler, you will find the classic box set for Traveler. This is not the 3 little booklets. This is the one that came with the larger, the core rules and a set of charts and set of adventures. This is what I started with. Okay, I didn't have the 3 core, book 1, book 2, book 3. I had the Starter Traveler, and it's a great thing. A lot of nostalgia for me. It's free in PDF. So go to DriveThru, do a search, grab it. You'd be a fool not to. All right, folks. On that note, I'm going to bow out before the dog goes fucking apeshit crazy. God bless. Stay safe. Roll your dice well. And I will talk with you all tomorrow. Later, folks.